In this video, we are going to talk about how to record employee attendance data, like the number of days he was present, the number of hours of overtime which he has done, and based upon that data, we are going to calculate the employee's salary. And once you calculate the employee's salary, you need to process payment towards the salary. So this is going to be a 3-step process where we are going to first record the attendance data, followed by calculation of salary, and then payment of salary. So we will first see how do we record the attendance data in Tally. We know that to record accounting data we use accounting vouchers, and in order to record payroll data we use the option payroll vouchers. So select the option payroll vouchers at gateway of Tally and press the enter key, and you would be presented with payroll voucher creation screen. Now in order to access attendance voucher, you need to press the key Ctrl F5 so that your screen would be toggled to attendance voucher creation. And if you are already in attendance voucher creation, you need not to toggle any screen details. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to record attendance data for the month of June. So I'm going to set the date by pressing the F2 key, and I'll change the date to 30th of June, which is the last day for the month of June. So on the last day of the month of June, I'm going to record attendance data for this employee which we created in the last lecture. So the employee name would be Ramesh Kumar, for whom I'm going to record the attendance data, and I'm going to record his attendance as number of days he was present. So over here you need to select the option present from the options list of attendance or production type to record attendance for the days he was present, and enter the number of days the employee was present. So I entered the number as 10 over here, and over here for the field current balance it is showing 20 days, but for you it is going to show 10 days because earlier I recorded a sample attendance for 10 days. So that is why it is showing 10 plus 10, 20 days of his total attendance. So you can ignore the detail over here, and then I'm going to record his overtime data by selecting the option overtime over here as 4 hours. So we are done with capturing attendance detail for this employee. Now press Ctrl A to save the attendance details. So once we capture attendance detail, we need to process the salary. By process we mean to calculate the salary for the employee. And in order to process salary, you need to access the payroll voucher by pressing Ctrl F4 key. Now for the field account, you need to specify an account which will calculate and store salary information. So I already created a ledger called salary payable with the following details. So what I did here is I created a ledger called salary payable, which is going to store details of salary to be paid to the employee. So this ledger has been grouped under current liabilities, and for this ledger I set the option use for payroll to yes, and then save the ledger creation. So you need to create this ledger under current liabilities with the option use for payroll set to yes, and then save the ledger. After you create the ledger, you need to process the salary, and in order to process the salary you need to press Alt A, and for the field process for, select the option salary and then specify the month for which you are processing the salary. So I defined the beginning and end date for the month of June, and for educational version you would not be able to specify the date as 30th, so you can specify the date as 2nd. And for the employee or group detail, you need to select the option Ramesh Kumar, that is the employee for which we just recorded the attendance data. And for the field sort by, select the option employee name, and for the field payroll, bank or cash ledger, select the option salary payable. Alright, so you can see here, depending upon the salary structure that we defined, the salary for the employee Ramesh Kumar has been auto calculated. So how nice it is. And you need to ignore the details like current balance over here, because the current balance are values of salaries which we have previously processed. So you need to ignore those details. You just need to concentrate on the details like the basic which has been calculated as 6,923 rupees. So let's verify if all the details are correct or not. So I'll open the calculator option by pressing Ctrl N, and for the basic of 18,000 for 26 days, the per day salary would be calculated as 692 rupees 30 paise and so on. And I will multiply the per day salary with 10 days, which is the number of days the employee was present. So the basic amounts to 6,923 rupees, which is calculated correctly, and 40% of the basic amount should be the HRA amount. So you can see that 2,769 rupees is the HRA amount which is correctly calculated. So with this, our calculation is happening in correct way, and I'll press the escape key to turn off the calculator, and I will now press Ctrl A to save the salary details. So what you learned in this lecture was to process salary of an individual employee, but Tally also provides convenience of calculating salary of multiple employees at once. So in the next video we will cover that part, and before we record salary details for multiple employees, let's check the payslip report for the employee Ramesh Kumar, whose salary details we just processed. So I will press the escape key. At Gateway of Tally, select the option Display, then select the option Payroll Reports, and then select the option Statements of Payroll, followed by the option Payslip, and then select the option Single Payslip, and specify the name of the employee whose payslip details you want to view. So I will select the option Ramesh Kumar. So you can see the payslip for the Ramesh Kumar. So this payslip contains details of the employee Ramesh Kumar, like his employee number, his designation, date of joining, and his statutory details. And for the month of June, his total attendance data is also present over here. So the total number of days he was present is 10 days, and the total number of overtime is 4 hours. His total earnings are calculated on the left hand side over here, out of which total deductions which are present on the right side has been deducted. So his net payable salary is 9,581 rupees. And in order to print this payslip, you need to press Alt P, and you would be displayed with the print configuration, which I'm not going to explain right now, and just press the letter Y so that we can view the sample print. So this is how the printed payslip for Ramesh Kumar would look like. Now let's process the payment for the salary of Ramesh Kumar, which is 9,581 rupees. And to process salary, we go back to Gateway of Tally, and at Gateway of Tally we select the option Accounting Vouchers, and in order to pay salary we use the payment voucher. So I am already in the payment voucher, and the first thing that you can do in the payment voucher is to change the voucher date by pressing the F2 key and change the date accordingly. Now for processing salary payment, you need not to remember salary amount. We will use the option called Payroll Autofill over here by pressing the Alt key and specify the details as follows. For the field process for, select the option Salary Payment, then specify the month for which you are making salary payment, and for the field Employee or Group, select the employee whose salary you are going to pay. So I am selecting the employee name as Ramesh Kumar, and then select the salary ledger which we have specified earlier, which was salary payable, and then specify whether you are going to make salary in cash or through bank. So if you have bank ledger, then specify the bank ledger if you want to make payment through bank, or if you are making payment through cash, then select the option cash over here. So you can see here the salary for Ramesh Kumar for the month of June for rupees 9,581 has been captured, and now you can press Ctrl A to save the payment voucher. So with this we are done with our first example for payroll, and I conclude this lecture as introduction to the entire payroll process as to how to record attendance, then process salary calculation, and then make payments towards the salary. And in the next video, what we are going to do is we will learn how to calculate salary for multiple employees at once, and then we will also look after payment towards PF, ESI, and towards admin charges.